Hello and welcome to Rewatch Party, the latest entry in the RWCU, the Reese Witherspoon Cinematic Universe. I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Green.
And I'm Harrison Bloom.
Stay tuned for when Reese shows up, because she's gonna show up in this episode.
Here, I'm telling you.
We just jumped from Michael Campion to a cameo by Juan Pablo Apache to Reese Witherspoon herself.
We're climbing up that ladder, boys.
We're in the RCU. That means Reese is gonna show up.
Yeah.
The RWCU, actually.
She's the Nick Fury
I'm
of
sorry.
this universe.
I'm sorry. I'm a fake fan.
How dare you? Now Reese isn't gonna show up.
Oh, fuck. I messed it up. She's not gonna show up. I'm so sorry. I gotta send an apology email to Reese's people.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Reese, although I wish we were. We're here to talk about another episode of iCarly. An episode of iCarly that is quite divisive online, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I can't exactly tell why. It's not particularly
This is the lowest rated episode of the series on IMDb.
Is it just because it involves drag queens?
It might be.
Is it just
because
racism?
it's the lowest one by like a good amount, like almost like a full like.
Yeah, and Harrison, it's not racism; it's homophobia.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
No, I know. I was doing that more as a joke. Like, it's obviously not racism.
The fact that you said it was racist is homophobic. I hope you know.
I'll keep that in mind in the future, and we'll work towards my personal growth.
Now you have to send an apology.
To Reese Witherspoon.
Guys, welcome to the YouTuber apology edition of the Rewatch Party, where we all have many things to apologize for. Mark to Reese Witherspoon, Harrison to the gays, and me to anyone I've ever loved.
Oh, God.
I just want to pause a second. Why? Why do you have to apologize to anyone you've ever loved?
Yeah.
This is
I'm
something that
really
I discuss
curious.
in therapy, and my therapist has encouraged me, or no, not encourage is not the right word. Has recommended. Why can't I think of the word? I'm not supposed to share it outside because I'm like this danger to society.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I will say, I'm a little hurt you haven't contacted either of us, because despite being your best friends, I guess you don't love us.
I said I'm still in the process. I'm in the healing process, okay? Your checks will be in the mail soon.
So wait, this isn't an actual apology. It's a monetary.
It's an apology with like a little hint of bribery.
It's an apology, and by apology you mean you're sending everyone all the money you owe.
Yes.
Well, thank
with
you.
a handwritten apology note saying, I'm sorry, I didn't get you this money until now. Please accept this check. It's probably gonna bounce.
This is going to be the most downvoted episode of Rewatch Party.
Yeah. Well, I do
Where
thank
we're
you,
going
Zach,
on.
because your Ponzi scheme absolutely fucked me financially. But anyway, we have iCarly to talk about.
Yeah, I do want to say, if we're on the subject of it being the least or the worst received episode of iCarly, which arguably we're not on that subject. We're on the subject of Zach's financial problems. I do want to say, it's not good, but I hesitate to say it's like much weaker than other episodes of this show.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was like a noticeable
great,
dip in quality between the other episodes and this one.
Yeah. If I didn't know that it was the lowest rated, I don't think I would think anything of
That's
it.
why I'm like questioning, is it like the homophobia? Like, did people just not like that it involved drag queens? I don't know.
Yeah. Or is it somehow like, did it get a bunch of stuff wrong and it's homophobic and it is really offensive in ways that we don't quite understand?
That could be it. Or just some really salty Amazing Race fans. Yeah, we'll get into the real plot of this episode.
It's not the drag element. It's the Amazing Race element.
Yeah, it's the Amazing Race element.
Anyway, other than drag, they hate all those amazing racists, and all those amazing racists hate the drag queens.
Fuck that Phil Kogan, man. Why is that Australian man hosting an American show?
How dare they?
But anyway, other than drag queens and the Amazing Race, which covers our A plot and the B plot, also, it's Millicent's Model UN tournament, and they have to hold it in Shea. What? Because the gym was double booked. And the debate team convinced them to let them use
I
the
do like
space.
that as the
efficiently,
debate
might I
team
add.
specifically.
Yeah,
That's a really good
I liked
touch.
that joke. I liked that joke. There were jokes that I liked in this episode.
Yeah.
They weren't bad.
It was fun.
But yeah, it's Millicent's Model UN tournament coming up. Also, Paul, Carly's new manager, or whatever his position was, I wasn't paying attention, got her an audition for, it has a different name in the iCarly universe, but it's The Amazing Race.
It's the Globetrot.
So yeah, something Globetrot.
Big world trot.
The glorious Globetrot.
The glorious Globetrot.
That's
not the name.
My Big Planet Earth.
I don't think that's the name, but that's what I'm going with.
Right.
The Great Globetrot?
Yeah,
that might be
like
closer.
Maybe.
Whatever. So yeah,
I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm throwing out alts. I liked Big Planet Earth Hullabaloo.
Big Planet Earth Hullabaloo? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That has a nice ring to it. Yeah.
But they talk about it and Freddie's like, hey, I'm the obvious choice of partner, but I can't do it because it's Millicent's Model UN and she needs my help. And Harper's like, and I can't do it because I have to style these drag queens for drag night at this club.
I love how like their friends are like turning down this amazing opportunity to be on a reality TV show for a commitment that will last approximately one night. Like
yeah.
They're turning down an opportunity at $1 million reality TV show.
Because I for a second I was like, I don't know if I want to like do The Amazing Race, but $1 million, I could do it. I'd do it.
Wait, Mark, you said you don't want to do it? That's a problem because I signed us up for The Amazing Race without your permission.
Wait, you didn't sign me up for The Amazing Race? You know.
Well, he's going to send you a check after we win. That's his way of apologizing.
Yes, I need to get the money somehow. I need to get the money somehow, and I couldn't decide between you two, so I flipped a coin.
But Zach, as TV shows and movies have taught me, the best way to raise a bunch of money is to put on a big show.
I thought you were going to say a lemonade stand.
The entertainment industry is notoriously easy to make money in.
Yeah, it's all coming together. You signed up for The Amazing Race to raise the money you need to pay everyone back for your various crimes.
For my various stats, yeah.
Yeah. So, where were we?
Yeah, so Harper can't do it. Freddie can't do it. Gee, does that leave any other characters around?
Gibby.
This would be such a good reintroduction of Gibby if they said that, but no, it's Spencer.
Oh, it'd be so good. Yeah, Spencer walks in and says, Spencer's gonna do it.
Yeah. He's carrying a bunch of rocks in his backpack for no reason. Yeah. It's fantastic.
To train. To strengthen his legs.
Well, you see, Harrison, he puts the rocks in his backpack to balance out the rocks in his pockets. So you got like weight going front and back.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna ask why it's better, but you explained. You explained right away.
Yeah, you got rocks in the front, rocks in the back, your equal distribution of weight.
The lengths that Spencer will go to not have to do leg day is really impressive.
Spencer taking the Patrick Star approach to packing, which is I don't really need to pack, so I'm just gonna fill my suitcase up with a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
It's gotta be heavy.
Yeah.
Or else you're not doing it right.
I do love that Carly gives him a high five at one point and he just falls down. Just the weight on his back.
It wasn't
because it wasn't a proper balancing of the weight.
Oh, yeah. He needed rocks on like his shoulders or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm not an exercise expert.
The rock method? You're not familiar with the rock method?
I'm not familiar with the rock method. Please explain it to me right now.
Well, you see,
it's the method that Dwayne The Rock Johnson used to get ripped.
Yeah, The Rock I love
it's the Rock method.
Yeah, the Rock method. The Rock invented this method of carrying rocks because he's
Have you seen The Rock?
You see,
he's a big man.
He's too big for normal weights to contain him. So in order to balance himself out, he needs to put extra weight on him at all times.
No, see, Harrison, I was going to say
that's why his pockets are always so full.
You see, no, here's the thing. The Rock regimen is a workout regimen designed by The Rock himself.
Yes.
Because he's a big boy, and you're not a big boy. So you put a bunch of rocks on you, like covering up your entire body till you have the physique of The Rock.
Oh.
And you carry around all that weight in rocks.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
That's a good alternative method. Version of the Rock
Harrison,
method.
I think my favorite thing that you've said today is that makes sense. That
I'm
makes
finally
sense to
saying
what
things
Zach just said.
Yeah, it
It's-
makes perfect
Wonderful.
sense.
Because if there's one thing about me on this podcast, nothing I ever say makes sense.
So Spencer comes in with the rocks. He is ready to get strong, and
Yeah. And Carly's excited because they used to win every game night together, so they're
Yeah.
a shoo-in for this.
of course, just the game of sorry is equally as hard as the Amazing Race.
Yes. Well, they're good competitors and
Yeah,
they work
yeah.
well together.
Right.
And my next note is Millicent is angry at Germany.
Of course. Aren't we all angry at Germany? in
She's
some
still not
way?
over World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people aren't over that. Aren't
I mean, yeah.
over Germany's actions in.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, but Millicent is angry at Germany, I presume because of Model UN, which is what
Yes.
she's
Well, she
doing.
wants to destroy Van Biedermeier, who is taking the role of Germany.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, her rival for this episode.
Yes. Yeah, she gets a rival. I hope he comes back. I like when a child has a rival.
Yes.
You know, I think you said your favorite thing Harrison said was that makes sense. My favorite thing that you've ever said is I like when a child has a rival.
it is
It's
so
the truth.
It
I
always,
do.
It is always so funny because, of course, like a child. Why would a child have a rival? Like they have nothing to
Because-
worry about.
Because they took the last peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Harrison. That shit goes hard.
Yeah, you're right.
Zach, you
Right.
say this as if you have experience, as if you have a rival.
When I was a wee child, I had many rivals back in the day.
But now
Chief
you have a
among them was
rival who is a child.
Notorious PB&J stealer Harrison, the PB&J stealer Bloom. He wasn't very creative with his nicknames.
I was your rival as a child. I stole your PB&J.
Yeah, Harrison,
Yes,
I'm going
and
to
I've never
judge you. That
forgiven you.
nickname's not very good, and you gave it to yourself?
Yeah, I guess I blocked that from my memory out of
Yeah.
embarrassment for the
Yeah, I didn't
nickname.
go to elementary school with either of you two, so I wasn't there for Harrison just walking around being like, hee, I am the PB&J stealer.
Yeah, he like dressed up as like a cartoony robber with like that bag, you know, like the bag of
Yeah.
cash
Yeah.
that they have over their shoulders. It was that, but it was filled with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
How good was my impression, Zach?
It was spot on, honestly.
Ah.
I mean, now
Great.
that the memories are flooding back, I will say I did speak exactly like that.
Yeah.
The only detail you're missing is that I would throw pocket sand at people to make my daring escape.
That's true, and that's why my eyesight is horrible to this day.
Love it.
That's why I still to this day wear contacts.
I should write my apology letter and just send you a bunch of like a cooler full of PB&J in the mail.
It's just like
You
send
still
me, like,
have them.
an apology
You
package and it just shoots more
No, I
sand
wouldn't
in my
make the
face.
sandwiches. Obviously,
No,
I ate them in the past.
But I loved the idea of you keeping them for all these years and returning these terrible, gross peanut butter and jelly
moldy peanut butter
sandwiches.
Yeah,
jelly
to
the
Zach.
moldy ass sandwich that's been sitting around for 10 years.
Yeah. Anyway, Freddie confides in Carly that Millicent's teacher has called him and says Millicent has to tone it down because she's scaring everyone with her intense hatred of Van Biedermeier.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say her intense hatred of Germany, but that also works.
I mean, correct.
Yeah. But also, it's an important note. She scared off so many people that there just is no South America anymore. It's just gone.
Yeah.
I liked that. There's no South America anymore. And Freddie also talks to Carly about Spencer being her partner because Freddie's like, do you not remember how he was horrible to you in the past? And she's like, no, we used to win every game night. And there's a flashback. We get some young actors playing our characters. The actor playing Spencer looks just like a young John Cusack.
Yes, it does. He looks nothing like Jerry Trainer, but exactly
No.
like John Cusack.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always maintained that Jerry Trainer and John Cusack look exactly alike.
Yeah, young Jerry Trainer played by John Cusack.
It's just
Love
the
that.
full-grown man, John
Yeah,
Cusack.
full-grown actual John Cusack.
Yes.
It's me, your brother, Spencer Shea. It's not a John Cusack impression, but imagine John Cusack saying it and it'd be a good impression.
Yes.
Mm. I'm thinking it in my head, and that's a very good impression.
Yeah, Zach knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's why I
Yeah.
picked you to be on The Amazing Race with me.
Zach, we're gonna lose.
Not with that attitude.
But Freddie is trying to tell Carly, Spencer used to boss you around all the time and it was miserable. And Carly's like, no, it was great. And then we come back to the present where Harper is in her and Carly's apartment with a bunch of drag queens.
Of course.
Yep.
As Harper is designing for a few drag queens who are having a drag night soon.
Yep.
And she gives them like 4 posters, like 4 drawings of her concept for each of them.
Yep. Looks based.
Yeah.
Looks
It's
based
Marilyn
off of various
Monroe,
starlets.
Audrey Hepburn,
Whitney
Reese
Houston.
Witherspoon, and Whitney Houston.
And Reese Witherspoon.
And
she
everyone's
asks,
really into Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon.
I just need you all to know, before we were recording, Harrison was talking about, Reese Witherspoon's gonna trip me up. I'm gonna practice that because I'm gonna have a hard time saying that. And I think he got into Zach's head.
I did. I did.
Harrison said that, and I was like, you know what, Harrison? I'm going to get it every single time. And look where it got me.
It's
I'm
a
like,
bit of a tongue twister for me. Reese Witherspoon.
I am almost positive that if Harrison hadn't said that, Zach would have gotten that right just then.
You're getting to me, Harrison.
Maybe that's why I brought it up subconsciously, so I could bring you guys down with me for when you inevitably fucked it up.
Well, that's already happened.
Yeah.
She asks them who they want to be of the 4 ladies that she mocked up. They all want to be Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, I'm starting to think about it too much. I felt it there. I felt myself almost saying Reese.
Reese Witherspoon.
Well, you know, there's a way they can all be Reese. You can be Reese Witherspoon, Reese without her spoon, Reese with her fork, and Reese with her knife.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That's good.
I like that.
Good. You even have room for Reese without her knife and Reese without her fork.
We got room for
More
6 drag queens.
Everyone listening should know that Tyler, our wonderful producer and editor, just sent us the word racist.
Yes. That's why I started laughing with her.
People who are anti-Reese Witherspoon.
I guess so. Or maybe they're people who are very passionate about Reese Witherspoon.
No, I thought of it more so
Yeah.
as like a pun on the word resist. As in
Oh. Okay.
Resist.
resist.
Gotcha. I figured it was an extension of our conversation from earlier about amazing racists.
About racism?
Yes.
Yeah, about racism. Hey, racism is kind of the scar that runs through our country. It's really embedded in a lot of institutions. And I think if we're going to improve as a people, we have to deal with our racism.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just me. But yeah, they all want to be Reese. They play the Kill Bill sting over a close-up of Harper. She's going crazy.
Yep.
Because 4 people want to dress as Reese Witherspoon characters, I guess.
I mean, it's because they're throwing out the rest of her looks and making her life harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't seem like the biggest problem in the world when you put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all want to be Reese, and they're like, you kidding me? Pleasantville, Legally Blonde, Home Again. I just want to flag Home Again for 1 second. Why does Home Again make the first 3 Reese references here? Home Again?
I didn't even know what that was until you
didn't
guys
either.
told me about it during the episode. Like I was like,
I say by you guys, Harrison means Mark and Tyler. I had no idea what it was.
yeah.
It's a very important film, but I don't know if it's the first thing I'd say it was the second. They go Pleasantville, Home Again, Legally Blonde. I think it might have even been
It goes
Legally Blonde
before
3.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Damn, Reese Witherspoon definitely deserves a check for this episode. She doesn't appear in it, but
She's not in it, but she's pulling some weight.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's an embarrassment of Reese's, as Harper says,
Mm.
which would have been a good title for this episode if they didn't have to do the I blank format.
Yeah, but an embarrassment of Reese's would have been like a whole bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups everywhere.
I suppose so. If you want to view it that way.
Look, we're recording this on Halloween weekend. I got candy on my mind.
Happy Halloween, everybody! For
Even
when
though this
you
episode will
listen to
come
this
out
episode.
Happy
in 2023.
Halloween. And that makes this a Halloween themed episode.
Spooky.
Just have fun with that. It's going to come out probably long after Halloween.
Yeah, it's gonna come out in like 2023.
Yeah, but just, you know, on Halloween, re-listen to this and it'll be very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Harper agrees to do Reese-inspired looks. She kicks down all the other posters she made as everyone chants Reese, and I feel like I'm losing my mind.
It's such a weird
fair
concept
point.
for the episode.
Yeah.
Like we have Harper has to help these drag queens, and the conflict is they have very specific taste in Reese Witherspoon outfits.
Yeah, the conflict is that they all want to be a specific Reese Witherspoon, but they don't tell Harper that until she's already made them other things to wear.
They're not very good clients. They just
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, hey, drag queen. I forget the drag queens' names.
I do too. They have wonderful drag queen pun names,
They
but I
had
did
good
not write
drag
them down.
names. They're like, hey, I made you this dress. And they're like, I'm looking for something more Reese Witherspoon. Make another thing. It's like, you're getting warmer. I know exactly what I want. I'm not going to tell you.
To be fair, I know when I'm out shopping, I'm always like, can you point me to your Reese section? And
Yeah.
they're like, Mark, what does that mean? And I'm like, the Reese Witherspoon section, of course.
Of course.
And they're like, we don't have one of those. And I'm like, what?
Then why should I take
What?
my business here?
I'm going to
Then
take
why
my
are you
business
a
elsewhere.
clothing
And I
store?
leave and go somewhere else. And I say, can you point me to your Reese section? They're like, we don't have one of those. And I go,
And then you go to
what?
another store and you say, can you point me to your Reese section? And they say, we don't have that either. And then you say, how did you know I was at another one and asked for the Reese section?
They're like, I'm like, you sound just like the last store that I was at. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I was at another store and I asked for the Reese section. They were like, we don't have one of those. And so I came here and asked for the Reese section. You said, we don't have one of those. Ha ha ha, hilarious joke. Now, can you please point me to your Reese section? And they're like, no, we weren't joking. That's not a thing. No store has one of those. And I'm like, did I dream this? Did this happen in a dream? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, maybe I need to like go to the hospital. That doesn't sound normal. And then I go to the hospital and it turns out I'm running a fever of 104. And so I stay overnight.
Oh my god.
Running a fever on.
Yeah,
Literally running through the stores with a fever of 104.
that was my Wednesday.
You're just sweating and you're like, take me to your
Take me to the
section."
reception, like shaking down the poor like teenager
Yeah.
working the register.
Yeah, and then the craziest thing is I like I went to sleep in the hospital and I like woke up the next day and I was like, maybe none of
And
that
Reese
happened.
Witherspoon was at your bedside.
And I was like, I had a marvelous dream and you were there. Anyway, we go to the next scene in the iCarly studio. Freddie makes a joke about Elon Musk, about how billionaires shouldn't want to go to space because it's dumb.
But it's space.
Yep. But Carly is there to make her audition video with Spencer. Spencer starts taking it over. He shows them the video that he made, which is just a video of him pouring water all over himself.
Of course.
Important
Hey,
thing
that's
to
not
know.
100% true. He poses while wet.
That's right. He
Yeah.
poses while wet.
His luscious mane.
Yep.
He flicks it all around.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly he thinks this will get him and Carly into the Amazing
Because
Race,
it's
but
sexy as hell.
Because it's Spencer. Why would they turn down Spencer?
Spencer is supplying the sex appeal.
Yeah.
You know, the Amazing Race is not a particularly sexy show, but Spencer can bring it.
He's gonna bring it.
Are you saying that Amazing Race contestant from this season, and I'm not making this up, Rex Ryan, former coach of the New York Jets, is not a sexy beast?
I didn't say he wasn't a sexy beast. Maybe I'm saying that Rex Ryan provided the sex appeal for his season of The Amazing Race. And Spencer gets his turn now.
If
That's
I know
fair.
anything about The Amazing Race, and I'm not sure if I do, it's that there's always one really sexy contestant.
and everyone else is ugly.
Everyone else, it's just a bunch of uggos running around the world.
Just a bunch of uggos and one really hot person.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Freddie tries to tell Carly, like, look, he's so bossy and competitive. And, you know, he's like, and then they say two different things at the same time. Freddie says Kim Jong-un, and Carly says Seabiscuit.
Mhm.
Neither of them are particularly apt,
No.
but I'm willing to hear their arguments.
Yeah. And
Okay, well here I can think of 10 reasons why Spencer is like
Save it.
Seabiscuit.
Please save it.
But we won't get into that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
No, Carly says he's like Seabiscuit because he's athletic, competitive, and he could poop anywhere at any moment's notice.
Not
Of
to mention his
course.
luxurious horse-like mane.
Yes,
Yeah.
she actually first mentions that in an earlier scene, and then in this scene she mentions his luxurious mane. I really wanted throughout the episode for her to keep saying reasons why Spencer is like a horse,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but she
Well,
doesn't.
we'll deal with plenty of that later on, but we have to address Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the episode is so lowly rated, because Carly doesn't offer up other reasons why Spencer is like a horse.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it was a real missed opportunity there.
iCarly fans just know what they want, and they want to hear why
And they
Spencer
want to
is
hear
like a
why
horse.
Spencer's like a horse.
Speaking of missed opportunities, my next note is Spencer sprays Carly with water to prepare her for the various conditions.
Yes, Carly goes to talk to Spencer about how he's being too competitive, and Spencer's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. We gotta train for the race in all conditions. It's raining! And he just starts spraying her with water.
In case you didn't clock it, missed opportunity, like mist, like a mist of water. I was
Gotcha.
very proud of that
I was
transition.
like, that was a very good transition.
It's a missed opportunity.
I
hate
see
that
what
I
you did
missed
there.
it.
M-I-S-T.
I hate
Yeah.
that I missed it.
I'm sorry you missed my mist.
Yeah, I missed your mist.
I
You
hate
missed
both
my
of you.
mist, miss.
The mist
And
was
Zach,
very
I'm willing
moist.
to accept that.
So yeah, Spencer shows his Kim Jong-un demeanor by spraying her with the spray bottle and making her work out.
Yeah, she does. He makes her do push-ups, jumping jacks. He makes her drink a smoothie of various peppers.
Yes.
The best fitness training
Yeah.
in the world.
Mhm. Well, I mean, how else are you gonna get swole? You can't. I mean, look, he tried doing the rock method with Carly, and she could not handle all those rocks.
Of course not. No. She's not ready for the rock.
So now the method is, it's the pepper method, where you eat a bunch of peppers and then you just like shit out all the inadequacies.
Well, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
second part of the rock method, because as everyone knows, it's a mix of working out and a healthy diet. So with the pepper method, you can smell what the rock is cooking.
And Zach, now
Damn it,
I
Zach.
hate you. Anyway,
It was worth it.
Harper shows off the various Reese costumes, but she got them all wrong. You know, this drag queen's like, I'm not a Sweet Home Alabama Reese. I'm this other Reese. But then one of them quotes Tracy Flick, and she's like, that's exactly who I matched you with. I know what I'm doing. And then they all have respect for Harper.
It's beautiful.
They find a newfound respect for Harper.
These terrible clients, and she just has to win their respect.
Yeah.
I like this B plot way
Yeah.
more than the A plot.
What a strange plot for this episode.
They're just being annoying.
They're being
It's not-
annoying, and it's not so much that that's strange, just like the intense focus on Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. Like, why Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah, who's no longer going to appear on this podcast. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she pulled out at the last minute.
Yeah.
But check in next week when we get Katherine Heigl to join us.
Check in next week when we get Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones as well? Damn.
Both Catherines.
Yeah.
We gather up every famous Catherine.
Anyway, Freddie tells Millicent to tone down her intensity. Meanwhile, Spencer throws gravel, or maybe it's hail, at Carly.
He throws ice, yeah.
He throws ice. Okay. I was caught in hail once. I've been in like
Yeah.
hail.
He like
once.
throws ice and it's like, we're in Antarctica. It's raining in Antarctica and it's ice.
I like how I share a genuine story for once in the entire podcast. Spoiler, I'm sorry, you guys. Most of the things I say about myself in my life are not true.
Yeah.
But I feel like that goes for most of for all.
Yeah,
of us.
no, I know.
Yeah.
But I say something that genuinely happened to me once, and Zach's like, well, no time to listen. I'm yelling about ice.
Yeah. Ice is more important.
What does being
Have
in
you
hail
seen
feel
Frozen?
like? Is it like just annoying, or is it like legitimately painful? I have to
It's
ask this.
pretty
It's never
annoying.
happened. to me.
I only like had to like walk to the corner, and
Okay.
it's pretty annoying and I assume if it was bigger hail and if you were in it for longer, it would get pretty painful. But I was able to sort of like just go through it. Just very weird experience. It's like being rained on, but the rain is much bigger and heavier.
That's weird. Ugh.
All the drag queens, we cut back to all the drag queens. They're all in their Reese looks. They're very satisfied. They do a big entrance.
Harper's like, you guys are ready for drag night. And the drag queens are like, yeah, about that. Drag night was canceled 2 hours ago.
The owner of the club sold it, and now it's going to be turned into a Baby Gap.
Yep.
There goes Baby Gap, gentrifying Seattle again.
Guys, here's a question for you. Is Baby Gap because it bought out the club, or because they bought the club owner sold the club to Baby Gap on drag night? Does that make Baby Gap homophobic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Glad we sorted
Definitely.
that out.
Yes. I bet they don't sell baby clothing to
To gay
Anyway, time to
babies.
introduce our sponsor.
They
Baby
really
Gap.
do hate gay babies.
they gay babies.
Time to introduce our sponsor,
Baby Gap.
Carl's homemade gay baby clothes.
Gay
Do you want
baby
your
clothes.
baby to be fabulous? Go to Carl's homemade gay baby clothes. It's a weird thing to do, but they're high
You
quality.
can trust us. We're 3 straight men promoting this.
Yeah, we're allies.
We're
And
allies.
I think that's important to remark upon and be celebrated for.
We support gay babies
Yeah.
and the right to be gay and babies.
But yeah, they're like, yeah, it's going to be a Baby Gap. Your work was for nothing. And Harper, I think the Kill Bill music
Yeah,
plays
it's,
again.
the Sting plays again.
Yep. And she goes, you are going to do a drag night, so help me God, or I will snap somebody's neck.
And then the drag queens are like, ooh, slay girl. And I mean literally.
Literally, kill us. Kill one
literally
of us.
kill a man.
And she makes like some inspiring speech about how Reese Witherspoon wouldn't give up. I think to motivate them, which is what gets them to
Motivates me.
yeah.
Me. I think about Reese, and there
all
you
of
go.
her struggles.
And all the bad thoughts go
Is
away.
Yeah.
But anyway, next scene, Spencer and Carly are going to their audition in a limo.
Of course.
Yes, which Spencer's logic for calling a limo. It's a longer car, so therefore it'll get there faster.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
his math is correct.
Zach, you say that as if Spencer's wrong, but he's obviously right.
No, he is.
Yeah.
And they sit in the front of the
A
limo
longer
because
car
that's how they
has
get there
longer
faster.
strides and will get there faster.
Yeah, and that's why they sit in the front with the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They sit in the front. So
Yeah.
it's
They
not
sit in
even
the
a
front.
limo for them.
With their driver, Raul, I believe is his
Raul,
name.
Yes, Raul
And it's
is-
really good.
oh,
He's like,
wonderful.
I love Raul. He
Oh,
says,
oh.
he's like, wow, my first day on the job, and there's a celebrity in my car. I just
If you need it, and then he hands them a cooler full of sandwiches.
Yeah.
That his wife made for him.
his
Yeah.
wife made a cooler full of sandwiches.
If,
And he turns on the GPS, and Spencer opposes the GPS at every turn.
yes.
And it keeps adding time to their commute. He's not helping them, and Carly starts arguing because she's like, Spencer, you're bossing everybody around and it's not helpful. She has since realized that, or earlier actually, there was a flashback to the same scene as it actually happened and not as Carly remembers it. And Spencer is horrible, and she and Spencer fight. They flick each other.
They flicked each other. That's right. We forgot to
Yes.
mention that.
And so Carly and Spencer tell Raul a bunch of opposite directions, and every turn Raul makes them go further and further away from where they need to go.
Yeah.
To the point where they get stuck at a bridge.
Yeah.
Which I was confused by because obviously Carly could just turn around. There's
It's a
no
limo,
traffic
it's
coming
long.
from the other direction. You can just go. But
But it's a limo. It's long. You can't put that horizontally.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right, actually. I didn't think of that.
I
Yeah.
just thought of that now. I didn't
Yeah.
think of it earlier. I was
Zach's
like,
a
you're totally
genius.
right before this idea just popped into my mind. But yeah, fun detail about this actually, because I found this on IMDb. The voice actor for the GPS, well-known voice actor in video games and anime, Abby Trott, who sings the theme song for Smash Ultimate, as well as being a voice actor in many other things, is in iCarly for one episode as a GPS.
What a weird cameo. Like, they just found her info and we're just like,
Yeah.
she's a voice actor.
Voice actor.
She'll come in for half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They get to a catapult range. They're late and they've been disqualified. So Carly flicks Spencer because she's angry at him for messing everything up.
Yeah.
But then the producer lady is like, we love this sibling rivalry. You're back in.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so basically the challenge is if anyone knows The Amazing Race or that one clip specifically from The Amazing Race where they're shooting watermelons, it's that same challenge.
Yep.
So I knew exactly where this was going to go.
And by the way, also this producer lady is very into Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what it is, but she's like, we love that, people love this sibling rivalry and Spencer's incredibly hot.
Yeah, Spencer's going to be the one hot person on this season of not The Amazing Race.
Yeah. There are like 2 lines about how she's into Spencer and then it's not brought back.
Yeah, because at one point he reciprocates the interest by saying, my melon skills are very good, but I'll use those later.
Wait a minute, am I
Than
dumb?
Wingsetter or
CBS owns The Amazing Race and Paramount Plus. They could have it's owned by the same company.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, but you got like Skybucks and stuff. It's
Yeah,
a thing.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is the iCarly universe now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Of course, they have mentioned Law and Order by name, but
Yeah.
whatever.
But Carly starts putting melons in the catapult, and she hits a guy,
Yep.
and that's how
Yeah,
the scene
she-
ends.
Yep.
Yep. And then we go back to Model UN.
Yeah.
Wow, the order of scenes. Yeah.
Harper brings the drag queens to Shay What
During the Model UN.
during the Model UN, and Freddie's like, "Come on, it's Model UN." Have we mentioned already that it's Model UN?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's Model UN that's going on. Just to say it's Model UN, and the drag queens are there, and it's also Model UN at this point.
Right. And they're like, we can't have both things.
Yeah.
Say what? I also love how every character in this show, and they're like, oh, we can't do it here. I guess we'll just do our thing at Shay What.
Let's have the wedding at Cheers.
Pretty much, yeah.
That is a joke about how every event in Cheers happens at Cheers, so they don't have to build any new sets. They just like literally throw a wedding in a bar.
Hmm.
The worst wedding ever.
Also, just important to note, Freddie immediately identifies all the Reese Witherspoon looks. He
Mhm.
sees
Yeah.
the drag queens enter and goes, like, why are there 4 Reese Witherspoons entering?
What an eye. I mean,
Yeah.
I might have picked up like the Legally Blonde.
Elwoods.
Elle Woods, yeah. I might have picked up on Elle Woods, but I would have fully have not noticed the rest of them.
Yeah.
Freddie has done his rom-com homework.
Yeah.
Well, that's to be expected from someone who has lived with all women throughout his life.
That's true, actually.
Fair. But they're like, how can we have Model UN and Drag Night at the same time? So they have Model UN and Drag Night at the same time.
Yes.
They mash it up.
Like one of the drag queens is like the MC for Model UN.
Yep.
And like Millicent does a speech, and then they bring out another one of the drag queens to do a drag thing.
Yep.
I'm not very familiar with drag. I'm sorry, I can't explain it very well.
No, they're performing. They're doing.
They're performing.
Thing.
Yes.
What's his name? Van Biedermeier is very mean to Millicent, but Freddie has of course asked Millicent to tone it down. So Millicent's just sort of acquiescing to Norway.
Von Biedermeier, oh yeah, we said.
Yeah, she hates Germany, and then he's
Yeah.
Norway. Did I write
switch
that down wrong?
countries? Well, okay, he's definitely Norway in the scene, but
Yeah.
maybe like in the earlier scene, he
Yeah.
was representing Germany, and
Maybe,
that's why
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, von Biedermeier is amazing.
Van Biedermeier is great. He says, my nickname is Van Gavelmeyer because I'm winning all these gavels, and he's wearing a bunch of gavels hanging from
Like
a
a
chain
necklace,
around
like a
his
gold
neck.
chain, yeah.
It's beautiful, and he's so pretentious. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he says the nickname, and Millicent is like, no one calls you that. You just made that up. And then von Biedermeier is like, well, tell that to my mother. She calls me von Gavelmeyer.
Yeah. And can I just say, like, the gavel chain is a good look.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the saddest look at the party
Yeah.
every time.
But anyway, Freddie sees that Millicent is so upset because she's losing and she's acquiescing. And Van Biedermeier is being mean to her. And then the Kill Bill music plays again over a close-up of Freddie.
No, if
love
I may,
that
Mark,
reincorporation.
if I may, if I remember correctly, von Biedermeier goes up to Millicent and is like, wow, I'm so glad the teacher relayed the message that my mom
yeah.
gave to her, telling you to
okay.
tone it down. And then he leaves, and then the sting hits, and Freddie comes, and he's like, okay, let's kill this
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, in my defense, getting that wrong, I wasn't paying attention.
That's That's why I'm here.
I did love the reincorporation this time of the
Yes.
Kill Bill sting
Oh,
for
it's
Freddy.
very good. I liked
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
But Freddie tells Millicent to destroy him and Norway.
hmm
And Millicent makes him cry.
And the drag queens like fully get behind him, like, yes, queen, she was born to slay.
Van Biedermeier runs away to his mom. Millicent wins.
That's how I assume real UN meetings go.
And
all
then
the time.
everyone clapped because they hate Norway.
God.
We go back to the catapult range.
Yes.
Carly keeps hitting people.
Yes. And they're telling Carly, like, okay, we're gonna need to like clear out soon. There's a kids soccer game going on in like a couple minutes. And we've learned from experience that watermelon shooting and children's soccer games do not mix well together. So you gotta go.
Mm-hmm. At this point, it's basically their fault. I understand Carly
Yeah.
hitting a guy once,
Yeah.
but if she shot multiple melons and they have hit multiple people, maybe they should just move these guys
There
away.
were other people there earlier. Like
Yeah.
it's taken like there's been been a large amount of time between the last two cuts.
Just stop. Disqualify them again. She's obviously not good at this.
And if you like, this is the one thing she had to do. She like the producer says after a certain point, like, yeah, we let you skip a bunch of like the casting process because you're famous.
Yeah. But anyway, Carly finally confronts Spencer about how he's been bossing her around her entire life.
Mhm.
And Spencer's like, well, I just wanted to win. If you minded so much, why didn't you say anything? And Carly says, because you were my hero. And he goes, and I'm still your hero. Got it. But no, Carly tells him how much it bothers her.
Yeah.
So when the lady says, you're going to have to stop, we're going to have to stop you, Spencer goes, no, my sister is doing a great job and we're not leaving until she hits her target. Good news, she hits her target.
Yes, and then I knew exactly where this was gonna go because if anyone's seen the clip from The Amazing Race where they shoot watermelons from catapults, she goes back, winds up, it shoots, it fires, not quite, fires back in the other direction, but instead of hitting Carly right in the face, it hits Spencer right in the face.
Is it cheap that they just did the TikTok thing? The viral thing that blew up?
I mean, I don't know how old the clip is. I feel like I've seen it like a long time. I think it might have been before TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I could be
don't know.
wrong though.
All right.
But it's like a viral moment from the
The
show.
Amazing Yeah. But yeah, so that's how they get disqualified, which is why for the rest of the season, Carly and Spencer are not backpacking around the world for the Amazing Race.
That would have been a good season. Would have been
Yes.
a
It
good
would've.
arc.
That's their loss.
Yeah. Speaking of loss, my next note is they all lost. They're back in, I think, Spencer's apartment, and they're talking about how they're not going to be on The Amazing Race. Millicent, despite her crushing Van Biedermeier, did not win at Model UN. And one of the drag queens notes that Spencer is dressed like Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks over and one of the drag queens is wearing the exact same outfit as Spencer. I think this is at Shea What actually still.
Oh, it's at Shea What? I just forget. It's a wrap up scene. I forget where
because I'm like,
it was.
why would this be in the apartment? I think it was
because
at
they're
Shea
just
What still.
talking to each other.
Yeah.
Every episode wraps up with them talking to each other about the events that just happened.
Are there.
Okay,
It's so
yeah.
weird that it
Well, the
always
drag
ends
queens
that
were
way.
in Carly and Harper's apartment. They could go with them.
We're friends with
That's
the drag
true.
queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know what? That's fair. But I do think it was at Shea What. But they
No,
Zach.
I think you're completely right. I just don't think it's a horrendous idea that it.
But there's a moment where like they see each other, realize they're wearing the exact same outfit, and the drag queen's like, "Ooh, who's your stylist?" Which I thought it was gonna be a thing where it's like, well, one of us has to change, and I liked my joke better.
No offense to you, I kind of liked Who's Your Stylist better
Yeah, I liked
because
that.
I wasn't expecting it,
I wasn't expecting that either. I kind of liked that as a stinger.
and it felt pretty in
Okay, well,
character.
fine.
I'm sorry, Zach. But I liked it as a stinger, and I did think because I was expecting who's one of us is gonna have to change.
Mhm.
That I thought it worked. I'm sorry.
Well, Mark, with these comments, you're turning me into a bit of a sad boy, which is perfect for our ending segment, Sad Boy of the Week. Let's go.
Let's go. I want to give a shout out to my personal nominee, who's not even really that strong of a nominee. I just really liked him. I'm nominating Von Biedermeier. Von
Biedermeier. Yeah.
Von Biedermeier.
I want to give a
For
shout out
his-
to Reese Witherspoon.
for the incredible sadness of basing so much of your personality around Model UN that you carry a gold chain
Yep.
with several
Mhm.
gavels attached to it.
I like the
Around
gavels.
your
I like
neck.
the gavel
The
chain. That's
gavels are
very
great.
sad.
I imagine like a gold gavel chain works for like, you know, when the rappers used to wear a bunch of chains. It's like a gold chain for a rapper. I'm imagining it right now. His name's like Lil Justice
Will Justice?
because he's got the gavels.
Lil Justice is a
Yes.
character in Arrested Development, but all right.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the prisoners at the prison George Senior's at.
Oh, I forgot about that.
No, well, it's fair. It's fair that you forget because George Senior renames him David Ben Avram.
Which is a much better rap name than Lil Justice.
That's my rap name. Anyway, on a similar note, I'd like to throw a nom to Raul. It's his
Raul is great.
it's his first
I like
day
Raul.
as a limo driver.
It's his first day on the
Spencer
job.
is
He's
fucking
so
it
excited.
up. Yeah, but he's so excited. He brought egg salad sandwiches.
That's so good.
He gets to the bridge, which is opening up, and instead of being like, "Oh, we can't take the bridge," he goes, "Whoa, that bridge is splitting in half."
If I may also give a nod, I do like both of yours. I want to give a nod to Spencer because he's just so competitive
Oh,
to
yeah.
the point where there's a flashback where he gets very competitive with children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spencer is very competitive. He's competitive with children.
He gets hit in the face by a melon.
He gets hit in the face by the melon. I also really like when he says, "And I'm still your hero," right? Getting it wrong when Carly says, "You
Yes.
used to be my hero, and I still am. I understand."
No.
It's a great
No.
line.
Also, he's very horse-like.
He's very horse-like, very much like a
Yeah.
horse.
I don't know how that's sad, but it is great.
I might throw out Harper as well, who's just getting bombarded by
By drag
worst
queens.
by drag
clients.
queens that do not respect her or her wishes or anything.
Yeah,
But she eventually gains their respect.
Yep.
she does.
She gains their respect, but Drag Night was canceled, and now she has to host Drag Night at a children's Model UN.
Yes.
These are all very
Man.
fun
Yeah.
nominations.
These are all, this
But
has
I
some
feel
good
like I
sadness.
have to go Spencer.
I might throw it to Harper this time, just because Spencer is very good this episode and a very good choice, but he wins a lot, and I think there are a lot of strong cases. I feel like going Harper this week.
Yeah. I know.
I
Part of
think
me
I'm
is
gonna
like,
go Harper
oh,
too.
that's fair. Part of me was like, I feel like it should be Spencer, but we always give it to Spencer, so I'm fine giving it to Harper.
Spencer just has such a loud energy. Of course, he's gonna have some sadness all the time.
I think
yeah.
Harper
Like-
earned it this episode. I think
Yeah.
Harper's good.
Yeah.
There we go. Harper is the sad boy of the week. Congratulations, Harper, for your drag queen stuff. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Rewatch Party. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe, all that fun podcast stuff. If you like what you just listened to, make sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Rewatch Party Pod. Once again, I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Green.
And I'm Reese Witherspoon. That's right, I'm in the podcast.
Oh my god!
Reese, you made it.
Yes.
I'm such a
big-time
big
Hollywood
fan.
actor. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the work I've done on the 4 amazing movies that inspired this episode of iCarly and this podcast. But I'm also going to hand the mic to my friend Harrison Bloom, who has my exact same voice.
To my best friend,
Reese, I
Harrison Bloom.
loved you as the voice of Rosita in Sing.
Thank you!
As she fades off into the distance.
Yes. Our hero Reese Witherspoon came in to save
Reese
the podcast.
Witherspoon can fly. She's just flying away.
Anyway, you've really done it. Once again, I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Green.
And I'm Harrison Bloom.
And until next time, keep rewatching. And here are the top 10 reasons why Spencer is like a horse. Number 10, tall. Number 9, he's so fast. Number 8, horsepower. Number 7, sheen. Number 6, his diet consists of only sugar cubes and raw carrots. Number 5, he has a long face. Get it? Number 4, when you sneak up behind him, he kicks like a horse. Number 3, he carries around a backpack in this episode, like how horses did with people in the Middle Ages. Number 2, he talks. Remember Mr. Ed? And number 1, of course, his big old massive horse dog.